Okay, one thing is I like to talk to people. So everywhere we go, I'm always talking to somebody. I'm the person who will talk to whoever.
Or is it
If
yapper?
I see, yeah, if I see someone in Disney attire, you best bet I'm going to find a way to make a conversation. So on my way, we were in the airport for my last trip, and there was this family in front of me at Starbucks, and they were all decked out in Disney attire. And it was a mom, a husband, and a little boy, maybe like 7-ish. And so I was like, "Oh, y'all are going to Disney?" And like the look on her face, she just looked at me and she was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay." And then she's like, "He thinks we're going to the beach because it's a SUPRISE." And I was like, "Okay." So then I'm trying to talk to the kid, like, have fun at the beach. And I'm like, I felt terrible. I'm like, I just ruined this lady's surprise for her child because I'm talking about Disney. But I mean, they were all decked out in Disney. So I'm like, you
That's
should
their
maybe
fault.
change your clothes or, yeah. I text my
That's like
friends, my little
that's
friend
like
group from my
having a
office.
that's like having a
Good.
conversation with a friend and telling them, hey, talking like about how you adopted this kid and all this stuff, but you don't tell them that they don't know, like that, and
Right.
then like,
And then you say something.
and then you go and
Yeah.
say something like talking about adoption. The kid's like, "What? You're not my real parents?" Like that's your fault for not like.
Yeah. Well, I ended up seeing her a little bit later. She was in one of the little shops by herself. And I went up to her because, again, I had to, like, I couldn't let it go. And so I was like, I am so sorry if I ruined the surprise for your child. And she's like, oh, she started laughing. She's like, it's totally fine. He didn't pick up on it. She goes, but it's kind of obvious how we're dressed. She's like, so it's totally fine. She's like, he didn't even pick up on it. I was like, well, I felt terrible. I said, so I just wanted to apologize again since I saw you. So.
What is up, and welcome back to another episode of Going Beyond the Castle. I am one of your three fabulous hosts here at Going Beyond the Castle. My name is Fred Briley, and with me, as always, is the fabulous podcast princess, Lori Calamo. And Ashley, we need a nickname for you because I'm just Fred. I don't get a nickname.
Yeah, I can just be Ashley. It's fine.
We'll work on it.
Just
We all
Ashley.
need
There you go.
nicknames. Lori's
Just
not
Ashley.
special enough to only be the one with the nickname.
I said that last week, and y'all were both like, no. So.
We'll workshop it.
Well, that was last week. I don't remember what happened at all. So, anyway, welcome back. We're super excited to be here. We have got a super fun episode planned as we dive into all things Epic Universe. We have our fabulous host who got to go twice because she had to go overboard and go
Exactly.
twice before we talked about it. But that just means that you have all the details to know all the in and outs of Epic Universe. So we'll dive into those tonight. Before I hand it over to Ashley to go over announcements, of course, we always like to thank our followers for joining us each and every week. We would not be where we are without you guys. So definitely drop a comment in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from. We'd love to see where you guys are at, where you're watching from, where you're listening from. So appreciate you guys. Ashley, take it away with announcements.
Yeah, we didn't even hit announcements last week, so I feel like we've missed a lot. So we'll try and keep this short and sweet, and also hit the important parts. So let's see here. First thing that came out, I think it was the most recent thing that came out. Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket is closing a month earlier than they thought it was going to close. They were saying it was going to be like September 2025, and they gave us a hard date of August 18th, 2025. I have never ridden it. Have you guys read it? Yeah. And I don't know if it's been confirmed, but there's a big rumor that it will be Fast and Furious, but also they've put up a bunch of like Ghostbusters signage around there. So that's also
That would be awesome.
something,
Josh
I
would love
guess.
that.
Yeah. Erica says she's joining us from Kansas. Hello, Erica.
Hey, Erica. Erica's a mouse
See, that's what I'm
counselor.
talking about. Midwest.
Yeah.
Tuning in.
The Midwest. Some other announcements. Tom Sawyer Island is, of course, closing. Did we get a date on that?
No, because it's not important and it's useless. Much
Tom
like
Sawyer
Dinosaur.
Island, of course. Yeah.
Fred. Josh and I actually, I'm grabbing a blanket because I'm cold. Josh and I actually did Tom Sawyer Island for the first time when we went in October, just so we could do it.
Yeah, I think I've done it once, like years ago.
I debated
cars,
it.
You get so caught up in like ride operations, logistics, and by the end of the day, you're like, oh man, I didn't even do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cars Land is taking over where Tom Sawyer Island is. Tom Sawyer Island will close July 7th. So make your visits, ride the Liberty Square Riverboat, July 7th. It's donezo.
Yeah.
And then
Ooh.
the last one
Yeah,
I'm going to
which
hit, and then I'm going
leads-
to... Nope, you go ahead. It's yours.
Nope, you got it. You got it.
I'm going to do... I have Avatar, and then you can do Cars.
Okay.
They just made a couple announcements of Avatar Land over at Disneyland. They're not calling it a land, they're only calling it a destination, which I think is kind of odd.
That doesn't surprise me. That screams Disneyland.
Yeah, it's replacing a portion of the Hollywood backlot area in California Adventure. So we shall see where that goes.
There's not a lot back there right now. Monsters Inc. will close, which kind of sad because it's a good ride. But other than that, there's not much back over there. It was super dead when we were there.
What? No.
Me either. Next year we will.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking it to existence.
Yep.
Going Beyond the Castle goes to D23. It's happening.
Yes.
I hinted to Rachel to it
2026.
today. Yeah, 2026. I hinted to Rachel to it today, so I'm just gonna keep it's very quick. Because again, I'm
Yeah,
scared
well,
of her. So we'll just keep throwing it out there.
There you go. I told the family, like, hey, we're going to Disneyland next year. And I think Braden was like, I'm not going. And Josh was like, well, okay. But Josh didn't say we weren't going. So I was like, all right. I promise you Braden's coming. If we go, he's coming.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to go?
Exactly. Who knows? They want to go.
It's going to be a great trip.
Yes. So what I was going to say earlier with the closing, with the Cars Land coming, was that also the Walt Disney World Railroad is only going to operate between Main Street and Fantasyland as they're doing the work back there. So if you want to get full circle, you need to get that before July as well.
I tell you what, that train cannot make a complete circle for a whole year. It can't. It keeps
Never.
getting
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah.
It's always something. It's either all totally closed or now
fully
that it's back
yeah.
open, but it's over to not half the park is going to get missed.
Yeah. Craziness. So Nutella Waffle is back at Sleepy Hollow. So every time we go, this is one of the things where Olivia and I are like, all right, we're getting a Nutella Waffle and we never get it. And then it was gone. We did get the fruit and berry one or the berry and whipped cream one when we went last time. It was really good. But now we definitely have, she's a Nutella girl. She loves Nutella waffles. So we definitely have to try it next time we go back. And then this one, I don't know how much it really affects people. And apparently DVC, which I think has been said before, so I don't know how much they're cracking down, but seems to be that Disney may be cracking down on the resale of DVC. So a lot of folks, I know, try to rent those points from other folks. So it looks like something that they're, I don't know, I think some contract language was changed where it says you agree that you're making the reservation for personal use and not commercial purposes. So not sure how much that will really be forced, but enforced.
Yeah, I wonder how that, what kind of position that puts for, the DVC resale sites.
It
Yeah.
might be. I'm curious if they're sweating a little bit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, they're helping bring in money, too. So, it's so
Yeah.
weird.
Because it was something I talked about doing when we went to Disneyland as an agency. There were a couple agents that were flaunting that DVC or that DVC discount as we went around and stuff. And we got to talking, and they were like, it really is if you don't go all out on it, but invest in DVC and then turn around and rent it out, it's not a bad gig. So
Yeah. So anyway, fun stuff there. So that was it on the news. And one of the things we talked about too is we're going to start pushing out some news a little bit during the week through social media, so we could start getting stuff out there sooner. We'll start that up soon.
hey,
Breaking news Fridays. I need to find a clever little trick for Fridays, but yeah, look out for it.
There you go.
Hello, friends. Just popping in real quick to remind you that if you're dreaming of your next getaway, whether it's a magical trip to Disney, a thrilling adventure at Universal, or a relaxing cruise, we're here to help make it happen. As travel planners with Enchantaway Travel and Mouse Counselors, we handle all the details so you don't have to. From booking to budgeting to those insider tips that make your vacation unforgettable, we've got you covered. And the best part, Our services are completely free to use when you book through us. So if you're ready to start planning your next adventure, send us an email at info@goingbeyondthecastle.com. Let's make some magic together. All right, now back to the show.
So something we started recently I just clicked on something. Was what we're calling for now the comment section chronicles. This one, typically it's something that we find on Facebook that we think is funny or worth mentioning. This one actually was not on Facebook. This is something that I did, but I felt like it would fit in this section very well. So one thing to take into consideration. Okay, one thing is I like to talk to people. So everywhere we go, I'm always talking to somebody. I'm the person who will talk to whoever.
Or is a yapper?
If I see someone in Disney attire, you best bet I'm going to find a way to make a conversation. So on my way, we were in the airport for my last trip, and there was this family in front of me at Starbucks, and they were all decked out in Disney attire. And it was a mom, a husband, and a little boy, maybe like 7-ish. And so I was like, oh, y'all are going to Disney? And like the look on her face, she just looked at me and she was like, no. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, he thinks we're going to the beach because it's a SUPRISE. And I was like, okay. So then I'm trying to talk to the kid, like, have fun at the beach. And, and I'm like, I felt terrible. I'm like, I just ruined this lady's surprise for her child because I'm talking about Disney. But I mean, they were all decked out in Disney. So I'm like, you should maybe change your clothes or, yeah. I text my friends, my little friend group from my office.
That's like having a conversation with a friend and telling them, hey, talking like about how you adopted this kid and all this stuff, but you don't tell them that they don't know, like that,
right?
And
then you say something,
and then you go and say something like talking about adoption. The kid's like, "What? You're not my real parents?" Like that's your fault for not like.
Yeah. Well, I ended up seeing her a little bit later. She was in one of the little shops by herself. And I went up to her because, again, I couldn't let it go. And so I was like, I am so sorry if I ruined the surprise for your child. And she's like, oh, she started laughing. She's like, it's totally fine. He didn't pick up on it. She goes, but it's kind of obvious how we're dressed. She's like, so it's totally fine. She's like, he didn't even pick up on it. I was like, well, I felt terrible. I said, so I just wanted to apologize again since I saw you. So. But she was fine with it.
How old was the kid?
I think he was probably about 7 or so.
My kids would know immediately. If we were going to the airport.
My kids don't even know how to read, and they know when I'm wearing Disney stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So
why are we all wearing Disney shirts? This is weird.
And we're getting on a plane, but we're not going to Disney.
We're not going to Disney.
He thought they were going to the beach. So I was like, well, at least I didn't ruin it, I guess.
And then you should have slipped in and don't forget to listen to Going Beyond the Castle.
Yeah. Lesson learned is from now on, I'd be like, hey, are y'all going on vacation? And let them say something first before. Or just keep my mouth shut and not talk to people.
Don't do that.
Yeah. I'm sure your family might appreciate it.
We want to have great stories of you embarrassing yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is true.
Exactly. I texted the family and I was like, guess what I did? And they were like, shocker. Like, yeah, I know. Anyway, that was it for that one this week. Kept it short and sweet.
And you are on your way to Epic for the second time.
Yes, for the second time.
Way to be an overachiever and go to something twice before we interview you for it.
I know. I mean, I'm so glad because initially we had this trip planned. Me and so actually 3 of us kind of jumped in on 2 other ones that had vacation planned through my agency. We initially had this planned before I knew that we were going to get to go in May. So we were going to go 2 days at Epic in June. And then when Olivia decided to help out her cheer coach and do that competition that was in Orlando, we were going to be there. But at that point, it was they were doing previews, invites only. And then I got the invitation through my agency to go and preview. And so I wanted to keep the June trip. So I was like, if we can make it work with the May trip, then I can do both. And so we were able to make it work. Then it ended up opening to the public, which I was a little salty about because I'm like, I got invited to go on a special invite and then it was open to, other people. But anyway, that allowed my family to go. So I did 2 days in May with the family, and then when I went in June with my friends, we just did one day.
It rained
Was it
both
open to the
times,
public
didn't
in
it?
June?
It did rain both times.
Ah!
What was that, Ashley?
Was it open to the public in June? It wasn't yet, was it?
Uh-oh.
It was.
was-
They opened
it
it early
was.
in May. They did preview tickets for the public
Yeah.
early May.
Right, but like the grand opening.
Yeah,
Wasn't
grand
till,
opening
like,
was not until May
mid-June.
22nd.
Yeah, the make
That's
yeah.
right. Okay. That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think I
Yeah,
sent
but
my
it was
barber. I sent him on like May 16th or something like that.
yeah. So I was glad we had the 2 trips because the very first day we went. So my family and I, we moved from Disney to Universal. We changed hotels. We're staying at Stella Nova because that's where Bethany and I were going to stay. So it just made more sense for the family to move there. So we went early, and it was raining. And I'm telling you, like, it wasn't just like drizzling; it was storming. So thankfully our room was ready early, so we were able to go hang out in the room. We didn't probably leave the room till about 12:30. And it's still, once we got there, it started raining again. So it rained till probably about 2:30. So they didn't get a full experience of having it the full day.
Yeah, I remember texting you on your first trip, asking you how it was, and you were like, "It's noon, and we just got here."
Yeah, which, it kind of stinks, but it is what it is. When you're going to Orlando in the summer, you're going to encounter some rain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
for sure. And then you stayed at Stella Nova. I have heard that the Stella Nova rooms are pretty bland and compact. What was your experience?
I thought it was fine. I don't know if y'all have stayed at Aventura or seen any pictures. It's very similar to that. It's more, it's on a moderate side. It's not like dockside or surfside hotels. I didn't find it was bad. It doesn't really have a whole lot of theming in the room itself, but the rooms are, they're nice, they're decent. So I don't have any complaints with that. It's really Stella Nova. If you're going to stay at Epic Universe, unless you're going to stay at Helios, Stella Nova has a walking path, and it was, we walked it, Bethany and I did, on the second day, and it was not very far walk. So it's definitely worth staying at that one than staying at Terra Luna.
Yeah, have you guys sent anyone to Terra Luna? I feel like everyone is staying at Stella Nova.
That's the one I hear is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really get any feedback from her, and I should have, but one of my friends that was with us on this trip stayed at Terra Luna once. But I don't really have they look exactly the same on the outside. So I would imagine that they look the same, the rooms on the inside. It's just that you don't have that walking path like you do from Stella Nova.
Well, how far is the walking path? Like,
maybe like 7-ish minutes.
oh, that's not terrible at all.
Yeah, like they look exactly the same.
So it's like a Grand Floridian to Magic Kingdom kind of walk.
That's not bad
Yeah.
at all.
No,
Yeah, and I
not
didn't
at all.
unfortunately take any pictures of the inside.
I noticed.
Well,
What are you doing with your life?
Because when I go with the family, everybody knows, let me get pictures of the room first. But it didn't happen. And so Bethany took pictures from the room with her and I, but then I forgot to get them from her. So this is pretty neat. When you're at the pool area, they have the little outside mobile service where you can order food, but you can scan it. You can scan the barcode there from your seat and order food. You still have to go and pick it up. But
Man, I thought you were going to
don't-
say it's like each chair's numbered and they'll bring it to your chair. I was like,
well,
sold.
That's what I thought too.
so we were
Take my
waiting.
credit
So when we
card.
when we went in June, Lori and I got there, another Lori, we got there early. So we hung out at the pool on the first day, and we were just sitting there waiting. And I'm like, is somebody going to come up? Like, we thought somebody was going to come and ask us if we wanted a drink based on the cards hanging, but you have to go up and get them yourself. So
Pool boy, over here.
yeah, exactly. Because I saw there was lifeguards, and there was some that weren't really, they looked like lifeguards, but weren't. I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to come get us a drink. But they
Is that
didn't.
pool zero
But-
entry or is it a?
Yeah. No, you could just walk right in. And they have a lot of seating in the
Looks
back
like it.
area. There's
Yeah.
tons of umbrellas. So you can sit really close to the pool, or you can kind of sit farther away. They have some like shuffleboard games and stuff like that out there kind of on the side. So it's a really nice pool. I don't get in the pools. That was the pancakes that Braden got, but I got those when
I need those in my life.
Yeah, those
they
look
were so
delicious.
good.
Those look.
So yes, it was really good. When we
That
went,
topping right there, sign me up.
when Bethany and I went, I told her, I was like, we ended up getting the French toast, but it looked just as good. And they were like, did you want the kids portion? We were like, no. Like, why would we want a kids portion? Well, when it came out, we were like, yeah, maybe we should have had, maybe they knew what they were talking about. We should have got the kids portion because it was a lot, but I did some damage to it and ate a good bit of it.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Nice. Way to go.
I was like, I'm on vacation. Josh isn't here, so he doesn't see what I'm eating. So I'm just going to go all out.
nice.
Not on
That's
vacation.
awesome.
I was on a work trip. It was a work trip. Yeah. No, but
I
I
kept
thought it
calling
was
my
nice.
trips a work trip too, and Rachel kept saying, told me to stop. She was like, they're not work trips. I was like, one of them technically is. She was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I mean, it is, hey, so, it's part of the job.
That's
But-
what I keep saying. That's hey, it's
Yeah.
all a write off on the taxes.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I can say too about Stella Nova, and it's funny because Josh noticed it. Josh is one who has to sleep like pitch black.
Same.
There's so many lights, like there's lights on the phone, the AC
Oh,
thing
he
on
was
the wall.
telling me about that. Like,
There's
oh.
like so many little, like he's hanging shorts over the lights on everything to kind of cover it up. And then the next night when I moved into the room with Bethany, she's like, there's so many lights in here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Josh was saying, I can go to sleep. It doesn't bother me. So
the
be prepared
littlest
to
light,
have, yeah,
it's got to
Easy
be
going,
covered up.
yeah.
yeah. I have to bring a face mask.
Yeah.
Face
And
masks
earplugs.
are the way to go.
Sweet.
Before we get into like, getting into the park, did you, and you can speak to one day over another, but like, did you have a strategy going into it? Were you just kind of going with the flow, seeing what happened, or kind of where was your head at, like going into it those first few days?
We didn't really know kind of well, the first day got ruined because with us not being able to
Right.
go until noon, we just kind of went in, and we immediately went that time to the Super Nintendo area just because Braden, like that was the one area that he wanted to see the most. So we kind of headed there first. But the next day that we went, and even in June, was kind of more for early entry, like what was open. And so Bethany and I headed, even though, which is kind of a little further in, but we'll just talk about it now. Initially, like Super Nintendo area was going to be, for early entry. But we wanted to go and get in line to meet Toothless. So we headed over to Isle of Berk. And even though it wasn't technically open, we were allowed to go in there and we got in line. So again, I'm not a rope drop early person typically, but for this instance, we want to we wanted to maximize our time. So we did go and we went into Isle of Berk. The second trip we went, a Ministry of Magic, was because it wasn't open in May. That was kind of our main focus. So we headed back there first on the June trip.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I was watching a video today. I don't know how long ago it was like produced, but early entry starts at 9 a.m. for Universal Hotel guests. And included in early entry advertised is Super Nintendo World, is it Monsters Universe?
Dark Universe.
Dark Universe, thank you. And Celestial Park.
That's fairly new. So Celestial Park area is open.
Yeah.
And also Nintendo area. That's why, so we just kind of had a bunch of us from the agency that had a call on Friday just to kind of compare notes and talk. And we're like, at this point, we don't really know what to advise as far as what's open, because they did say that, now Dark Universe is open. So I think it's just going to be, you're just going to have to wait and see when you're there, which doesn't really help for strategy to see kind of where to go.
Yeah.
But my thing is, if you're at all interested in meeting Toothless, that's
You
because
need to
that line
go.
gets super long. So like, I kind of feel like that's where I would go.
You telling me I get to
Yeah.
meet a dragon? Like, of
Right.
course I'm gonna wait that line. Like, and
Heck
Toothless?
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd wait out. That is the one line I would wait out.
Yeah.
Lastly on that, and then we can move on to Celestial Park. I did see that. I watch Mammoth Club, Molly on Mammoth Club, and so when she did her video, it was just what we talked about: Monsters, Super Nintendo World, and Celestial Park. But none of the rides in Monsters Universe opened. So to like compensate for that, they opened Isle of Berk. So maybe just
that's
tell your
why.
clients, maybe tell your clients to kind of keep an eye on what's going on around the park, because it sounds like they're trying to make things work, and
Yeah.
overcompensate for other things that aren't really opening.
Yeah, they did. So we did have to show our room key, so that way we can get into Isle of Berk
Yeah.
area. But again, yeah, nothing was open, but we were able to get back there, and we got in line as soon as we could.
Yep.
Before we move over into Celestial Park, I kind of just want to kind of go back to the whole part of where you said it rained a lot, and bring up that video that I sent you guys, and just like as a pre-warning, people, like I've heard comparing Disney and Universal, Epic is one of the worst parts for rain. That video that I sent, the guy ended up going back. He ended up breaking it down like per each Disney park, each Universal park. These are the rides that are inside. These are the rides that are outside. If it rains, like these are the worst part. And like Epic Universe was at the bottom for like if it rains, like
I think only 4 of the 11 rides are open.
Yeah.
When it rains.
That's crazy.
But like, so Minecart Madness is outside. That was still running in some of the rain. Stardust Races was still running sometimes when it rained.
No.
So it's just kind of hit or miss. I don't know that I would.
Sound fun at
Well,
all.
we'll talk about Stardust Races when we get to that, but yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
walk us through Celestial Park. Let's start there because that's kind of the hub of everything.
The hub, yeah. Yeah, so initially, that initial concept art made it look like it was going to be almost like a park, like a lot of trees and things. And again, if any of my friends that are on that correct me, but I don't remember seeing a ton of trees. It is very beautiful. Like when you walk in and you first walk through the portal, immediately in front of you is where the fountain is. And then, they have the carousel, and it is a very pretty, it does kind of have a park feel, but maybe like a city park, not necessarily a woodsy or like trees type park. There's a lot of shops in there, the food. It's a really neat area. It's just like the central area to kind of get you to the different portals.
I did notice that there was a lack of trees, and you're right. It kind of does give off like a Central Park vibe, maybe like lots of statues and other things, but not a lot of like forestation, I guess.
Yeah, they do have a good bit of benches and like seating, so you can sit around. And there's one of the fountains is actually almost like a splash pad. So like if you wanted your kids to walk around and get wet, they can. I mean, we saw some adults kind of playing in it, which I thought was funny. I'm like, no thanks. Yeah. Yes.
Pizza Moon. I've seen
Amazing.
a lot about Pizza Moon, and you ate there.
Yes, so when we went the first time, Josh and Olivia shared a pepperoni pizza. Yes. And then Brayden and I shared it's the halakahiki.
Is it the purple one?
No, not that one. That was one where we went in June. That's the it's the halakaliki something kahiki. It's like a prosciutto and pineapple.
The what? I just want to hear you try to pronounce it again.
Halakaliki? I don't know. It's in there.
Is the thing.
That's what it sounds like, but I'm not going to sing. That one was good. So Brayden and I are probably the only ones in the family who like the ham and pineapple pizza. And but it didn't taste like, like a Domino's. It was more elevated. So it was good. It just wasn't like the pineapple wasn't as sweet as I was anticipating, but it's really good. Josh is a pizza snob, and so we don't eat pizza a lot, but he did like the pepperoni. He said it was really good. And so then when I went with my friends, we got the trip to Vesuvio was absolutely my favorite out of all of them. Now there's peppers on there, so you have to take the peppers off because it's super spicy. But without the peppers, it was really good. That one, yes. And then we did a giant mushroom, which was one of the other ones that you showed. And then the pizza lunaire, which was the ubi crust pizza. That's the one that I wanted to try the most. So my friend Stephanie, we actually, when we stayed at Aventura, had ubi ice cream, and it was really good. So ever since then, I'm like been trying all the ube, however you say it, stuff.
This pizza making me hungry. I didn't eat.
Yes, and so it was good, but it wasn't what we were expecting. But the trip to Vesuvio was really good. It almost kind of had a pepperoni flavor with a little spice.
Yeah. Erica said that in 10 years, she thinks Celestial Park will be amazing, and I agree with that.
In 10 years, I don't know if I'm going to be able to ride any rides. Like,
I know.
Maybe like
just think of how I'm going to be in 10 years.
Celebrating the anniversary of your 21st birthday. There we go.
Yes.
Atta girl.
my 40th anniversary of my 21st birthday.
We don't add
yes.
numbers to the 21. We just leave it at the 21.
Yeah, we just leave
Got
it
it.
there.
Yes.
From Celestial Park,
I don't
let's
know if you
move
want me to talk about Atlantic since we talking.
Yep,
Go ahead.
go for it.
Yeah. So when we went, so Bethany and I went to Atlantic in May. We didn't really have a reservation, so we were just kind of wandering around. We're like, oh, let's see if we can get one. And we got in, and I had a $48 lobster roll.
Oh my gosh.
Is that this thing? Hold up.
I hope it was,
So we
was
were
it
looking-
worth it?
We were looking at the menu on the outside,
This?
and there was a picture of, yes, that
This was
lobster roll and those chips.
$48.
$48. So when we were looking at on the outside, there's a menu, you know, like a menu board with pictures. And so we're
Yeah.
like, oh, that looks good. Let's go in and get it. And when I got in, I was like, the lobster roll is $48. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do that. But then like the other meals weren't that far under it. So I was like, you know what? I'm by myself. I'm just paying for a meal for me. I'll try
Look,
it.
We know I'm the foodie here. Was this worth $48?
Say no.
Compare
It was
wait.
good.
Compare it to the warm lobster roll that you get at the American.
No. Oh no, that one was way better.
Whew.
Okay.
Wow. And,
Yeah.
and those are
one-
those are chips, right?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
look
I
gross.
mean, it was good, but it
I
was
may
not.
fly there just to try
worth-
this $48 lobster roll and then leave.
Yeah. I text
For
Josh,
work.
I'm like, how much do you think this is?
Yes.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I just spent $48 on a lobster roll. It's crazy.
Wow.
So, but the inside of it, so it is more upscale. I mean, it's something that you can expect for park food, you know, like pricing wise, like for an upscale restaurant. It's really cute on the inside because they have the carousel type things in the ceiling. So they're kind of moving around as you eat. So super nice. I don't know that I would need to do it again, but you know, I've experienced it. So it was okay.
You check the box.
Check the box.
Did
Craziness.
you get to ride Stardust Racers?
Yes. So me and my adventurous child, Olivia wanted to ride it. So me, her, and Bethany did it. Josh was like, I cannot believe you're about to ride that. Braden was like, no thanks. But we we love Velocicoaster. And so I'm like, what's going to, you know, I mean, it has the ups and downs, kind of similar. No, it was so bad. I mean, it's like, if you like that kind of thing, I mean, it's cool. It was fun, but I'm like, I couldn't muster up the courage to ride it again. It's crazy intense. You know, I don't know if you have done Velocicoaster, but you know, you have the one that goes up really high and it drops down. And then the rest of it's just kind of twisting. And this one, it's like almost, you felt like the whole ride, you were just going straight up and down. And then you would flip upside down. It was just, I think it goes upside. I don't even know. I was like, at some point, I think I just lost it.
It does. I've watched videos of it.
Yes. And then
quick,
when we
but-
got off, Olivia was like, we had to sit for a minute. She's like, I don't feel right. She was like,
Ugh.
I'm not doing that ever again. Like it kind of threw her off. So yeah. So that was it. When I felt Bethany kind of wanted to do it again on the second day. And I was like, man, I really hope she changes her mind. And she did, thank God. And we didn't do it. And then when we went in June, you know, they did it. Some of them did it, not all of us. But I was like, at the very end of the night, it was only 3 of us left. The other 2 had went back to the hotel. And I'm like, it's an uneven number. Y'all 2 go ahead. And I'll just walk around and wait for y'all. So I was like, I cannot. And they wanted to do it at night. And I'm like, I will probably die.
Good job
if I
finding
do it at
that
night.
excuse.
Yeah. I went and ate some macarons.
There you go.
So yeah, I was like, I'm going to snack. But yeah, no, it was, I'm glad I did it. I can say I did it, but I don't know that I ever have to do it again.
Check the box once again.
Yeah. Check the box.
Are we ready to move to Isle of Berk?
Yeah. We could, well, and there is the carousel.
Oh yeah, there is the carousel.
So yeah, the carousel is super cute. It takes a little bit to load. So just, you know, can kind of take a little bit of time. They have a lot of, it's accessible. So if you have someone with a wheelchair, they have, yeah, that's my family. So that picture there was when the first day we rode, the 3 of them jumped on one and left me by myself.
That's
I'm like, thanks a
awesome.
lot. Yeah. So then when I went with my friends, I think I put the pic. Yeah. So then when we went, I was like, you know what? I'm going to ride in the baby seat.
There you go.
So yeah.
That's
Because
awesome.
the other animals, there's 2 seats, but there's like, you know, for an adult and you put your child in the front.
Mhm.
And at one point we saw they had like 2 adults on it. I'm like, that is awkward. Like, I don't think I'd want to
think you-
ride like that. Yeah. So I don't know if they intentionally did that or what what the plan was, but I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Somebody said, let's
But
see
it's
what
really
we can
cute.
get away with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
cute. It's quick. And there's 3 different circles. So as it's going around, those 3 circles kind of, so, you can kind of see your friends or whatever on other ones. But yeah,
Mhm.
cute.
Very nice.
That's
very
it.
nice.
All right,
It's pretty basic in
Let's
Celestial
talk
Park.
about the one that everybody really does love, and that is possibly the most popular one at Epic Universe.
My favorite, I Love Berk. Yes. I don't know. I really focused so much on watching all the Harry Potter movies and, Fantastic Beasts to try to get prepared for that. I rewatched the first How to Train Your Dragon, but I didn't really watch any more. I didn't think I was going to be as excited about that area. It is absolutely amazing. When you are walking through there, just the whole area, and they do have like a big, not a lake, I don't know what it's like, the water area. So I think that kind of makes it a little bit, but it's just, yeah, like the details and all of the things throughout the whole area is just super cool. Yeah. And the back is that's where a fire drill is that rides in that water.
And at the very tip top of that tower is like it's someone from the movie. I forget what their name is, but they have a little.
I didn't
can
even
on the
notice
top.
someone up there.
Yeah,
Attention to
I'll have to
detail,
find a picture
Lori.
and show you guys. Yeah, that is a
Yeah.
really cool picture, though.
It is. It's a good picture.
I think
Yeah.
Isle of Berk was a surprise hit for everyone. No one really
Yeah.
expected it to be as great as it is.
Yeah. Like I literally could just stay in that area for hours, even just
Yeah.
kind of walk around. It's just a lot to do in that area.
That is really cool. My cousin actually helped build. I think it was Fire Drill that his construction company built, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
So attractions in Isle of Berk are Fire Drill, Hiccup swing gliders,
And Dragon Racers.
Dragon Racers is the other one. Did you ride
Something.
any of them?
I did not ride Dragon Racer Rally. Was not going to do that one. Bethany did, so I took some pictures of her. I might have one in there. I can't remember if I threw one in or not. I don't like heights, and I was afraid because you can spin the thing, and so I was like not risking it. But apparently, it's very hard to spin it. So she didn't spin or anything, but I watched. Hiccup swing gliders is probably my favorite ride in all of the areas. It is so much fun. It's kind of like has maybe a Slinky Dog vibe as far as the intensity a little bit. It's just super cool. The first day we rode it once when it was all of my family and Bethany, and then Bethany and I did it 4 times in one day.
Wow.
It was, yes. We rode it twice during the day, and then we did it twice at night. When we were there at night, we got off, and we had like 10 minutes before the park closed, so we just ran and got back in line and rode it again. And then we only got to do it once when we went in June, but it's a really, really fun ride. I love it. And then Fire Drill was not planning on doing.
I can't get the photo to pull up because for some reason it keeps coming up upside down. I don't know what's going on. But can we talk about why you're wearing ponchos? Like, just
On Fire
commit.
Drill?
If you're gonna ride a water ride,
No.
just commit. Like,
So
No way.
I don't.
No way.
Yeah, I don't typically do water rides because I don't want my shoes getting
No.
wet and then having to walk around in wet shoes.
no,
So
commit.
Amy was with us. She rode it before. Amy is like on it. She left way before us on that June day. She was there. She rode like 4 rides before we even got to the park. She was all in it. She was like, "You're not going to get wet." And so she's like, I rode it twice and I didn't get wet. So we're like, okay. So Bethany and I went on and we were like, you know what? We're going to put our ponchos on just in case. And let me tell you, Bethany and I would have gotten soaked if we didn't have our ponchos on. And Amy, again, did not have a drop on her. I'm like, what is happening here?
I wish I could show this photo. For some reason, it keeps showing up upside down. I don't know why.
Oh, you want me to text it to you?
Try it down.
Yeah. So it was definitely was not trying to get wet. Poor Bethany, she got more wet than I did. It was funny. We were like, thanks a lot. But it was cool. And one thing that we talked about when we did our episode last time, Fred, is I thought that you were able to shoot each other in different boats and wet each other, but you can't. There's no way that they don't even pass by each other where you could shoot. So it was all just surprise shots of water coming from the ride because you didn't know when the water was going to shoot out.
All right, here we go. I downloaded it.
Yeah, that is odd. It's coming up upside down for me too.
Yeah, right?
Like
Probably
the preview is
operator
perfectly
error.
fine.
I probably did it. Yes.
All
They're
in those
not getting
ponchos.
wet.
And look,
She's
Amy didn't have
like-
a poncho on, and she did not get wet. I don't
See,
understand
she's
what
my
happened.
kind of people. She's just like, hey, whatever
Yeah.
happens, happens. It's gonna be a good
Yeah.
day regardless.
Yep. No, I was
Yep.
like, I mean, I was all tucked in there too. It was like, I am not getting wet. I was shooting the water and stuff, but yeah, I wasn't trying to get wet.
Next time, maybe you should go no poncho and see if you get wet.
Yeah,
'Cause it seems
exactly.
Like
See,
Amy's
that's
got
what I'm
the
saying.
strategy down.
Every time I have ridden Tiana's Bayou, anything like that, I never wear a poncho. I'm like, whatever happens, happens, and I don't get wet anytime.
Yeah, but with Tiana's, you could sit in the back and you won't get wet.
I don't choose where I sit. I let God
Oh, I
tell me
did.
where to sit, and that's where I go. God
Oh, no,
speaks
I'm like-
through the cast member and says, sit here.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting in the back.
I think I sat in the second row before.
In, yep.
But it
this isn't
works out
really a-
every time for me. I still don't get wet, regardless
there
of
you
what
go.
you say.
There you go. No, I'm not trying to get wet. Yeah, we're already behind where we said.
It's all right.
What was I going to say? It's not really an attraction, but the Viking training camp area, the little kids play area. So I still don't think Epic is fit for little kids based on the rides alone. However, this area, you could, but I don't know that kids are going to want to go and just play in this area all day and not get to do all the rides and stuff. Smaller kids, but they have a lot in that little area. So while they were riding Stardust Racers, I went through and was kind of taking a bunch of pictures of, and there's like, like a little seesaw thing, a little, oh gosh, merry-go-round type thing. There's a lot of like the climb, you could climb up and just kind of run through the bridges. It's a super cute area. When we went in May, it wasn't open yet. They were still working on it. And so we were able to go in June, but it's super cute for the kiddos.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your food, and then we'll wrap up with the most anticipated must-do at Isle of Berk.
Yes.
So talk to us about the foods, if you ate any. What do you recommend? What do you not recommend in Isle of Berk?
Okay. So when Bethany and I went in May, our plan was we were going to ride Hiccups at night, go get a yak nog from Mead Hall, and then drink it as we go back. One thing to note is that the quick service restaurants, and it's not posted anywhere, so we didn't know this, and I don't know if this is going to be going forward, but the team member told us that this is how it is in all the parks, that the quick service restaurants close an hour before the park closes. So when we went to get our drink, it was already closed. So when we went in June, we made sure we headed straight there and got a yak nog, which is a frozen chocolate cinnamon drink. So good. Very refreshing and on a hot day, topped with some whipped cream. Yes.
Nails
and
are
it
on point,
comes
by
in
the
a-
way.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
those look good.
My nail tech picked that color out for me. Yeah, it was really good. It was definitely worth going in and grabbing that. Then the only other thing that I ate a ton of snacks. I didn't eat a lot of food in that area. We ate from Spitfire Grill, the PB&J mac and cheese cone was what I got. And at first I'm like, I am not eating peanut butter and jelly mac and cheese cone, but it's pork, bacon, and jam. That bread was worth it alone. I don't know what it was seasoned with other than the black sesame seeds, but the bread was super good.
It looks really good.
I mean, the
looks
pork
delicious,
and the
yeah.
mac and cheese was really good too, but like the bread was really the star in that cone thing. One thing I will know for next time is to make sure to bring some dental floss because I literally had like 7
pork.
sesame seeds stuck in my
Yeah.
teeth, the black ones. It's funny because Amy was like very proper. She's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, I'm sitting at the table with my receipt and trying to like dig out the
Stop
sesame
it.
seeds. Yeah. I was like, I'm just going to handle it right here. I'm not going to the bathroom. But yeah, but definitely try. They have like a plain mac and cheese with no meat in it. They had one other one. I can't remember, but the pork one was really good. So, and then mostly I ate a ton of macarons. They have one of the little shops they have there. They have a blueberry lemon macaron that was so good. I think I ate
Oh.
2. Yes, I ate 2 when I went with Bethany, and I think I ate like 4 when I went back in June. They have the pistachio one was okay too, but the blueberry lemon was really good. And then I
sounds-
Those
also
are
got,
cute.
yeah, they had some macarons in Wizarding World too, but they weren't as good. And then I also got the key lime chocolate. It's made like the little dinosaur eggs. And then on the inside, it was like a key lime. It was so good. Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, those are
It's cute.
cute.
Yeah.
I appreciate
they had
your
a whole-
photography background, Lila. I'm proud
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah. I was trying to make sure I took them in areas, like instead of just holding it in the store or whatever, I was very intentional where I took
I
the
like
pictures.
it.
Yeah. They had a bunch of stuff in there, like little whoopie pie type cakes and a lot of stuff. But the macarons and the chocolate eggs were really good. But that's all I ate in that area.
Gotcha. Let's hear about it. Everyone wants to meet Toothless and potentially Hiccup. I think it's important to know, and I'm sure Lori will talk about it. But you're not always guaranteed Hiccup. So Lori got really lucky. She got to meet
Yes.
Hiccup. I think you can get Astrid too. Maybe
Yes.
Stormfly.
So when we went, we were waiting in line, and it was like a random Viking that was there. And then like two people, and I think the line might have said like 65 minutes, but I don't think we waited that long. We didn't, maybe like 40 minutes. I don't know. But like 2 or 3 people ahead of us, Hiccup came out. So we got very lucky that he was there. And actually, so we, being travel agents and trying to get information, we really were asking team members questions as we would leave. And so, Bethany was like, is there like a certain time that Hiccup is there? And they like, I'm really surprised he's out this early because it was early in the morning. And they like, it's just kind of random, just depending on what's going on. So we were able to enter, and then it's just Bethany and I. So we're walking up and I'm like, gosh, I really feel awkward because I don't know what to say, like how do you interact? But he started the conversation, and he was, like obviously not making it awkward. So it was very easy to talk. And the team member that was standing there, she took our phone before we got up there. So she videoed and took pictures the whole time. So that way we can interact and didn't have to worry about taking pictures.
That's awesome.
Even though, like we each took pictures of each other, but
And that's
You know,
what I
she got
love
the video.
about that's what I love about character meet and greets. Like that was Jamel's biggest thing. Like when he was going up to meet these characters, like he went up to meet Joy and he was like, but they can't talk. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Like just
Right.
enjoy the moment. Like
yeah,
they are literally in this position because they're good at it. They know
Right.
how to take the
Yeah.
awkwardness and just get rid of it. Like and just
yeah. And
immerse you in all of it.
yeah. And I've seen some different Hiccups. This
Mhm.
one was really good. He sounded just like his mannerisms, everything was, and I mean, the whole thing with meeting Toothless was just wild. Cause he moves, when you walk up and he's like, touch him right here. And then he kind of moves his head over. I don't know if I sent you the video, but like he interacts with you. So it's almost like he's legit, like you're really interacting with the
Yeah.
dragon.
Let's see
Not
if I
long
can pull it
after
up.
we left, we did see Astrid and Stormfly was out. So there were, those people actually got to meet both, I assume. I don't think they would just make you pick one, but yeah.
Oh.
Very natural. Very well done. You want to come say hello?
He told me I was a natural.
Lori's a natural at meeting dragons.
Yes.
I'm a
Cool.
dragon
That's cool.
natural.
That is
Yes,
really cool. What a cool experience.
It was, yeah, that was awesome. That was probably one of the highlights of what we did. And then they have the How to Train Your Dragon show.
Yes.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Untrainable Dragon. One thing was disappointing for Bethany and I is that Toothless was not in the show that we saw. So like it was an amazing show. It was super cool. And we got to the end and we looking at each other like, wait, where's Toothless? And so
Yeah.
again, we asked the team member when we got out and they were like, it just depends. For most cases, he's there. But she said, and neither one of us caught it. She said at the beginning, they said, that he was not there today. But so we didn't get to see the show with him in it, which I heard is a lot better, the experience than what we saw. But, but it was, their shows are always on point. Their show was amazing.
I wonder what the stipulation is. Like, is it just being temperamental? Is Hiccup maybe not trained to fly on Toothless? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder what the parameters are. there.
Yeah, I think in this case I think there was a mechanical thing.
Yeah.
And then also too, like, you know, in the previews we saw there was dragons flying. That never happened. I don't know that's has happened recently in a while. There was also some like the baby dragons that walk. We didn't get to see any of that.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. But it was
All
cool.
right. Let's move to Super Nintendo World. We've got some new things that came with this Super Nintendo World that aren't in Hollywood. So let's hear your thoughts on Nintendo World. Maybe what you.
It's very busy. I feel like anyone who has any type of sensory issue may struggle. It's very, very busy. It's like you're walking into a literal Nintendo game. You know, I mean, there's the punch boxes, like the question mark boxes. There's all kind of interactive games. You know, those who
Power
are
bands.
going to listen later. Yes. So I was Mario. We all dressed as a different character, but I had to get Luigi because it's got the L on it. And so there's all of these games, you know, interactive games that you play all throughout the area. And also we were all different Mario characters. It's also 2 levels. So there's different levels. I think the majority of the games are on the top. Thankfully, Braden was with us the first day because there's games that you play, and to get you have to get 3 keys, and then once you get the keys, you can go in and play the Bowser Challenge game, which was fun. So Braden was teaching Bethany and I how to play those games.
That's awesome.
But it's just very busy. There's a lot going on all the time in that area. It's super loud. It's fun though. I mean, a Nintendo person will love it. Although I don't know, I don't think Braden was impressed as much as he was hoping to be.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's the Yoshi's Adventure, which, I mean, I said it was going into it. I was like, it's kind of similar to People Mover, but not really. Because there's, you know, a height restriction on it. It goes super slow. Like you can run faster than the cars are moving. And another thing too, and when we were on our conversation this week, a lot of people didn't no, there's it's like an actual game too. So all of this stuff goes to your power up band. So throughout the ride, there's eggs, and like on the car itself, there's like a red, green, and yellow, I think, egg. And so when you see them, you press the button. And so that way you're collecting your points on the. But when we talked about it on Friday with the agency, like a lot of people didn't know that. They were like, we didn't know that. They don't tell. So they didn't, when we went, they told Olivia and I, but they didn't tell Josh and Braden, and they didn't tell Bethany. So if you don't kind of do some research, you don't really know that it's an actual part of the game too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cute, but not something that I would ever stand in line for. It's because it's not worth it.
It's like the People Mover, but with work. No.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I sleep on the People Mover.
I was saying, and you can't sleep because it's loud inside, you know, when you're going through. And then it's it's cool, like to sit outside. I mean, when you ride outside, almost like how People Mover, where you could see, you know, the part of the land. But yeah. And then the other is the Mario Kart, which, you know, we talked about my lack of ability to play that game, which was very true on the ride as well. One of the things I struggle with is that I wear bifocals, and it's very 3D heavy, which 3D stuff doesn't normally bother me. But yeah, look at this. So you have these hats, and then once you get on the ride vehicle, there's the goggles that are magnetic, and they stick to the visor part that's pulled down. It was very hard to play the game because it was very, very, it was like in your face 3D. And so I had, like, the first time I rode it, I wasn't looking in the appropriate part of my glasses. And so like, it was hard. At one point, especially when you get to the like Rainbow Road, I'm like, I'm just going to close my eyes because I can't figure out what I'm doing here. I was just shooting at everything. And so the second time we rode it, I was a little more intentional, and I kind of pulled my glasses down to make sure I wasn't looking in the reading part. And so it wasn't as bad, but I still didn't know what I was supposed to be shooting at. So I was just kind of shooting randomly. So it kind of didn't live up to the hype.
Question.
I think what's that?
So you compete against each other. Yes? No.
Yeah.
Did you beat Braden?
I don't even know. We
Somebody
weren't in
call
the
Brady.
same vehicle. We weren't in the same vehicle, and I didn't even look at the points because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
What type of mother-son feud do you have going on here?
I know.
Maybe she just doesn't want to admit that she lost.
I probably did because I didn't. I'm telling
we
you, I
all
was
know
just
you
like,
did. I just wanted to see what you would say.
yeah, I will own that one. I probably did lose, but yeah. So even Braden, when we were talking about it earlier, he was like, that ride sucked. He's like, they should have just made it a coaster and not like an interactive game like that. So
Yeah, the videos I've seen are kind of confusing
yeah.
for sure.
And then the other one is the Minecart Madness, the Donkey Kong ride. That area is I forgot to give you a photo of the like $20 drink we got. Yeah.
Both of our faces we were like, wait, what?
Braden wanted them. It was like the Donkey Kong, it was a mug. He's like, it was $16.99, but still. He's like, I just want the mug. And so, cause like in it, I don't know, and I should have sent you a picture. It's got the, like it's like, banana pineapple drink. And then there's like an ice cream swirl and it's in a cone. I mean, a waffle cup. And they got like caramel popcorn on it. And, but he just wanted the mug. So I was like, can we just buy the mug? And they were like, no, we have to sell it and I was like, well, can we just pay the price, but not get the drink and the ice cream? And they were like, no, we have to sell it all. So, but they made it in a plastic cup and stuck that inside the mug. So that way we ate a couple of sips and threw it away because it was very banana, which I like banana stuff, but it was banana pineapple. It was kind of weird.
Interesting.
But yeah. But even back there, so on the app, if you go on the Universal app, there you go.
Hey, there we go.
He wanted that mug for whatever reason. He'll probably never drink out of it again. There's a lot of interactive games and stuff. And so even back in the Donkey Kong, what is it called? Donkey Kong Country, there's interactive games and stuff you can play. The ride itself it's short. It's very jerky. Like it was, I don't even know. I don't want to say, Seven Dwarfs. I know that one's a little jerky, I think. I don't even know what to compare it to. It's very short and it jerks you all over because it's made to feel like it's
Space
going
Mountain.
off the track. Maybe.
Space Mountain.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that one I was like,
Space Mountain.
yeah, if you have any kind of back or neck injuries, I don't know that I would recommend Minecart. And yeah. I mean, it was cute. I'm glad we did everything. We got to ride them all to experience it. And some people might love it. It just, that area for me was not what I was kind of anticipating, I guess. I don't know. So, but yeah, that was the attractions that they have there.
Any good foods, any good meet and greets you want to hit on before we move on?
So I do not recommend a burger at Toadstool Cafe.
Good to know.
Is it the one
It
that
was
looks
not-
like it has mold on it?
Maybe. I don't remember. Oh yeah, the top on the bun.
That's supposed to be his mustache. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what it is, but
Yeah. So one of the things that we didn't really say too was that all of the places have where you sit at the table and you scan the barcode and order the food and they bring it to you. And so we just wanted, which is great. I love that because you don't have to stand in line. You just go find your table and you order. But it's very hard to change anything on the food. It's basically you have to order it how it comes. There's some modifications that you can make, but not a lot. And so the burger came with, I don't even remember what it was, some kind of sauce on it. Like, I really don't want that. And they made me go to the counter and the lady at the counter was like, so you have an allergy? And I was like, no, but she's like, yeah, you do have an allergy. So be mindful of that. If you do have allergies, it's great. You can modify the food, but that was the only thing that was difficult. But the Princess Peach cake at Toadstool Cafe was amazing. It's got like a whipped icing, and it's got it's almost like a chantilly cake. The cookie, I don't know what that was supposed to be. It was disgusting, but the cake itself
Good to know.
was great.
throw the
And guess
cookie
how much
away,
the
eat
cake
rest.
was?
$50.
$20.
25. So I didn't tell my husband how much the cake was. I just ordered it. Okay. It's big enough, like 4 of us ate on it, and we could have fed probably 2 more people. And he saw a reel on
I've
Facebook.
seen your family eat, Lori. That's not saying much.
Are you trying to say we eat a lot? Because you're talking about my food from Friday night?
I'm saying you didn't eat much.
Your
Your
did. I
daughter
ate
took
half
like
of it.
1 bite of her quesadilla last night.
True. I still think you could
Josh
definitely
ate
split
like
it.
air because he eats weird foods.
Yeah. It was really good, though. But he saw a reel and he was like, that cake was $25. I'm like, it was for the experience. Definitely get the cake.
I got a
Characters, and I'll
discount.
go quick. Yeah. We didn't do any character meet and greets, but I did know when I saw that Mario and Luigi were coming out. So we kind of stood there and waited and just, took pictures and videos. I didn't get to see Toad, which is what I wanted to do. And we didn't get to see Donkey Kong, but the lines for the Mario and Luigi weren't really that long. So
Interesting. Let's move to Wizarding World. I don't know if there's really much food and meet and greets to really hit there, but I mean, let's hit the one big thing, which is Ministry of Magic.
yeah. So, okay. The ride car is very similar to Tower of Terror. So I was horrified for the entire ride.
Waiting for the drop.
So waiting for, like, I thought there was going to be a drop. And so, like, the queue is amazing. I mean, like, the detail that they have inside of the queue is just on point. Like,
This is what took them so long to open this park. Was this single ride.
yeah, it is awesome. But I failed to really enjoy the ride. Yeah, this is where you go into the Flu Network. And when you walk in there, yeah, it's got like
I will say this is
You'll
one of
have-
the, like the most well
There you go.
themed queues in any of
It
the
is.
parks right now.
Absolutely.
yeah, and it does a little
Puts Peter Pan in
whatever.
the dust.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like the next time I ride it, I won't be as scared. And so maybe I can see the details in there too. It was really great. I just was scared the entire time, just waiting for it to drop. But
I wish it would
Yeah.
have that.
yeah, probably not. But yeah, I mean that whole I'm glad I watched the Harry Potter movies and even started watching the Fantastic Beast, because it wouldn't have really made sense. The first when we went in May, I hadn't watched Fantastic Beast. And so some of the stuff that's in there I didn't get.
Yeah.
But when I watched
The
it, then I
area
knew a little
itself
bit.
is very Fantastic Beast.
Yeah.
based,
Yeah.
Whereas the ride is really the only Harry Potter thing you get.
Yeah. It's just kind of lacking to me. Like there's not a ton of stuff to do. And like there's the one ride and then you just now the show. So,
Oh yeah.
Circus,
It's Arcanus or something?
Arcanus. We are
Arcanus or Arcanus?
it's Arcanu is how they were saying it.
Gotcha.
But we called it Arcanus because that's what it looks. That's what it looks like.
Because we live in the Midwest
Excited.
in the South.
We were joking. We knew that's not what it was. But anyway, that show was awesome. Like, I mean, it was very circusy, obviously, but it was really cool. So I highly recommend going to see that. And again, for someone not really knowing, because they were having this whole conversation after in the hotel about who is who, and I'm like, I don't know what y'all are talking about, but it was amazing. Just watching it. Yeah.
I want to
didn't
watch
know
it
the
now on
people.
YouTube.
Yes, it was really good. Definitely recommend. But yeah, we did get I didn't eat in that area, but I did get the butterbeer crepes. That were really good. Super sweet. So Bethany and I shared them. I would not be able to eat the whole thing as much as I love sweets. But
Those look good.
It does.
yeah, it was really good. Again, that cookie thing that I don't know what those are supposed to be, but they have no taste. It's like
I
cardboard.
wonder if you're not supposed to eat it. They just don't tell you that, and you
Maybe so.
ate it.
We tried it, but I was like, nah, I'm not eating that. And then the only other thing, there is a bar in that area, Bar Moonshine. And so we went in just to do the little color changing drink. And so when they first give it to you, it's blue. And they give you like a little packet. It's almost like a pack of tea, but it looks like cotton candy when you open it and you drop it in the drink. And they like tell you that your straw is the wand. And so they like just circle. And so you just spin in the drink and then it turns purple and it's sparkly. Yeah. I didn't get to actually drink mine because it started raining again. As we're walking outside and walked under a building, like a big cloud of water from the building dropped into the drink.
That's a bummer.
So I was like,
awesome.
yeah, I was like, I'm not drinking that. So, I mean, I don't know that I would drink the whole thing anyway. It was more for the experience than the taste. It wasn't amazing, but yeah. Again, they had some like a candy shop in there too. And I did get a couple of, now I got a pink coconut macaron that was really good. I don't know which one that one was, but they had their own little macarons in there. Lots of sweets and butterbeer, of course. We did get a
Of course.
frozen butterbeer.
Butterbeer.
Yeah. I don't know what is going on. And all of a sudden, I cannot breathe through my nose. This is great.
Interesting.
It's the
Yeah.
weather.
So, yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot to say about that area just because we did watch a lady at the end of the night who had a wand. Oh, I'll tell you that at the end. And she was, kind of like, yeah, what's the
Swanning.
little platypus thing was like hanging from the chandelier and was dropping all the coins. And
Yeah.
so that was cool. Again, I wouldn't have known what that was had I not watched The Fantastic Beasts. So, yeah. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, I feel like that area definitely needs more.
Yeah, it seems like it's just a bunch of like empty storefronts and animatronics to kind of fill those
Yeah.
storefronts for sure.
I mean, that's the same way Diagon Alley is. Like, I mean, you got one
Yeah.
ride. You got, which is the same thing over there. You got, I'll give it that Ministry of Magic or whatever you want to call the Harry Potter area. They have a show, but really, over at Diagon Alley, there's Ollivanders and Escape from Gringotts, and that's it. and
Yeah.
food and drinks, like souvenirs.
Yeah. Yeah, they do have folks kind of walking around like in character and stuff, but that was about it. Not too much.
Yeah. All right. Last but certainly most not least is Dark Universe. I feel like the attraction there, Monsters Unchained, was the most anticipated attraction in Epic Universe. Did it hold up to that standard? How was it?
It was really neat. And again, Josh is not like a coaster part. He almost didn't ride it. Just not knowing. And he rode it. And it was like him and Olivia went back and rode it again. Like it is the animatronics in there along with the 3D and super cool. It is advertised that it's kid friendly. It is not kid friendly. It is.
That's pretty funny.
Depends on the kid. I mean,
If I took a child in there, if I would have taken Olivia in there, you think she's traumatized from Dinosaur? It is creepy. It is so. I mean, it's. I don't.
It's none of your kids. Like, I could see Harper going in there and having the best time of her life. I mean, we went to CC's Pizza and she was shooting the crap out of aliens on the Halo game. Like,
well, I can tell you, a
living her
girl that I
best
work
life.
with. Yeah, one of the girls that I work with, her son, he's probably 10 now, but forever. He loves Halloween. He loves all the creepy stuff. He'd probably be okay with it. An average kid, I don't think is gonna like it.
That's fair.
Valid.
Yeah, and then the ride, so it's very high off the ground too, and so like the ride vehicle, it comes overhead, and you're strapped in, and I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know that I would want to get stuck on it because it's just one thing, like one on the ground that's moving that your car is connected to, and so when you look around, I'm like, it's pretty high up there. So anyway, but it was definitely worth the hype. It was really good.
Do they have all the animatronics in there now? I know when it opened, supposedly not all of the animatronics were alive yet. So I wonder if they've put all of the animatronics in there because those are some of the most like technologically
Yeah, I mean the Frankenstein was definitely
animatronics.
there. Yeah, Frankenstein was definitely in there. The the daughter, the main one.
Victoria.
Yeah. Now I'm questioning because I thought she was there, but then I just saw something on Facebook recently where they said it was like, I guess it was glitching, so it was a screen and not the actual. I don't remember.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So, but yeah, it was really cool.
And then
for that
there's
kind of thing.
Curse of the Werewolf too. Did you ride that one as well?
We did, and so the first time we rode, I was like, I don't want to spin. Like I was so scared I was gonna get sick. First time we rode it, we didn't spin, and I'm like, this was terrible. Like, I mean, it wasn't bad, but I'm like, it's so fat. It's like, it's a very short ride. Might even be shorter than Seven Dwarfs. I don't know. So then we rode it again, and I'm like, I hope we spin this time. And the thing spun the whole time, and it was so much fun.
Nice.
Interesting.
So you definitely want to spin, but it is a very short ride, so it's not long at all. But it was cool.
And you're not in control of the spin, are you? Like that just happens.
No. So Amy, that was with us, she said the guy when she would, because the three of us went one time, so we were split up, and she said the guy was like, lean to the right. And I don't think you can make it spin. I don't know. Some people say if your weight is not aligned in the car, then it will, but if you're evenly distributed, then it won't. So I'm like, maybe that's why. I don't know.
Could be.
But it's definitely more fun spinning.
Nice.
Super
Any
cool.
good food? Any good food in Darkmoor Monsters Universe?
Yeah, so
Dark
funny
English.
story. We did eat at Das Steakhouse, and I got the blood orange chicken sandwich. And as you can see with the black bun. So the next day or a day later, you're going to be surprised from eating that black bun.
Love it.
So
I'm
yes,
so
I
glad
was
that's
like,
where you went.
wait a minute. Oh, I asked my friends, I'm like, should I tell the story? And they're like, absolutely. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking, okay, I had those blueberry macarons, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is what's going on. I almost asked Stephanie because she ate the blue macarons too, but I didn't want to ask her. And then I saw on TikTok when some folks were talking about what happens when you eat the black bun. I'm like, that did it.
That's awesome.
Can't confirm.
Yeah, I can confirm. But that was really good. The blood, that was way better than the hamburger I got at Toadstool. But that restaurant, again, is super creepy. Like, I'm not a fan of the dark stuff, so I'm not scared of it or anything. It's not my favorite. But it was really creepy on the inside of that restaurant.
Isn't it like vampire
get-
hunters like walk around?
They didn't have any folks walking around that I remember.
Gotcha.
But just I
Oh,
know the
wow.
pictures are kind of low, but like you could see like the vampire stuff in the background and
Mhm.
the bloody. Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's really
just
well
kinda creepy.
themed.
It is very well themed. That area is definitely probably along with Berk one of the most. Well, they all kind of themed very well, but
Is that quick service?
and then the only other. Yeah, it's a quick service. And then the only other thing we ate, was we just got it and, walked out, was from Burning Blade Tavern. We got the cheddar cheese bites, and those were good. So, yeah, that was the only food we ate in that area. They
Very
have
nice.
Frankenstein and his bride. You can meet. Invisible Man was there. So, Fred and I, when we first talked about Epic Universe, I'm like, Invisible Man. I'm like, how are they going to do that? Like, I didn't know that he was kind of like wrapped in stuff. I'm like, how are they going to do Invisible Man? So I had to take a picture when I found him just to show Fred. Like, this is what
Like
it
it.
is. Yep. And that's really it. At night. So one of the things we did, and then we wrapping up. One of the things that we did. Okay, as your travel agent, I do not recommend pushing the limits. As your
I
podcast
absolutely do.
host, as your podcast host, I will recommend pushing the limits a little bit. So Amy is very adventurous, who was with us. And so we actually stayed in the park an hour after the park closed and walked through all of the areas, except for Isle of Berk, because by the time we got to that one, it was closed. So they have the portals that you go in, but there's also like a side entrance. And so we just kind of moseyed through the side entrance because the portals were closed. And so we were able to get pictures in all of the areas at night with like barely anyone in there. And Dark Universe, of course, it lived up to its hype because so this thing supposedly turns red at night. It's supposed to be something to do with the vampires. And then the castle, and it was like electricity was lighting up. Super cool. All of them. I mean, even in the Wizarding World,
Oh,
we
that's
stayed in
awesome.
there kind of, yeah. So like you can see like the little, oh, there we go.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's kind of, yeah. Yeah, so if you want to, kind of push the limits and get some photos with hardly anyone in there, or just kind of see, but yeah, that area was creepy, but it was cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yep.
Sounds like, I mean, 2 great trips, honestly. It seems like you had your own strategy, you took it at your own pace, and you got exactly what you wanted out of both trips, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
Which-
definitely something I think you can do in one day if you have Express Pass. 2 days would be great to be able to really spend time in each area, or even kind of go back and, hit the things that you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. Which, I think we all know the answer to this, but which land was your favorite? Which portal?
I'll-
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The unsung hero of all of this. Did you have a favorite meal in any of this?
Probably Pizza Moon.
Solid.
Yep.
Favorite snack and favorite ride, and then we shall close it out.
Favorite ride, Hiccups, without a doubt. Favorite snack has to be the blueberry lemon macarons. So good. We love a good macaron in this family. Well, me and Olivia. And those were amazing.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right,
I
Fred.
knew we weren't going to finish in an hour. Sorry.
We got pretty close because by the time
Yeah.
I do all the editing and all that fun stuff, it'll drop down to about an hour.
Yeah. It's just hard. It's just so much. And I mean, I know there's probably things that I didn't even touch on. But, I feel like it was a good.
I think
Good
you hit a
rundown
lot
of
of
each
great
one,
key
but-
points. You gave out a lot of good tips. And as we continue to take more trips, we'll be able to talk about new and different things. So I think it was a great.
Yep.
A month into, not even a full month, almost a full month into Epic Universe being officially open. I think it was
Yeah.
a solid bit of information that you put out. So
Yeah. And I definitely say too, because I know we've talked about, I haven't done Express Pass with the other parks before. The Express Pass, even there's 11 rides, but it definitely helped. Like, I think Hiccups one time we went was 65-minute wait, and we had these little individual cards that someone gave us, and we got in like 20 minutes.
yeah, I have done Express Pass at the other parks, and it's amazing.
Yeah. I think with having few rides, it definitely is worth it at that park.
Cool. Well, thanks
Yeah.
for sharing your trip with us.
Absolutely.
It was super cool to see all the pictures. So you're getting better with your pictures. We'll work on it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I think they were
You
great.
can teach an old dog new tricks.
I'm not going to comment on that one. Anyway, so next week we are diving into Disneyland. So I'll be coming at you guys with a trip report on Disneyland, talking about my 2.5 days at Disneyland last month. So super excited to dive into that one. I got to start working on photos for that. So we'll be doing that next week. So make sure you guys tune back in next week.
Yep.
As we
fun
wrap
stuff.
up, again, thank you guys for joining us. We had about a good amount of people on with us tonight. So definitely, thanks to everybody for joining and tuning in. If you guys are looking for more information on Going Beyond the Castle, where to find the podcast, where to find the videos, where to find all the fun stuff that is Going Beyond the Castle, you can head over to our website at www.goingbeyondthecastle.com. If you're looking for any of our social media channels or just quick links to find anything Going Beyond the Castle, we do have a Beacons channel, beacons.ai/Going Beyond the Castle, has all of our quick links. And then, of course, if you're looking to reach out to us here at Going Beyond the Castle, you can reach out to us, info@goingbeyondthecastle.com. That is our email. All three of us have access to it. So reach out, ask a question, request a trip quote, request podcast episode topics, things like that. So anything to say before we wrap up and finish this hour and 25-minute episode?
Nope.
I think we've said enough.
I think we
Yeah.
have.
I've
So,
talked.
all right. Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We love you guys, and we will talk to you guys next week. Goodbye.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today on Going Beyond the Castle. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did sharing. To stay up to date on all things Going Beyond the Castle, head over to our website, goingbeyondthecastle.com. There you'll find more info about your hosts, both audio and video versions of our episodes, our weekly blog, and even some fan-favorite merchandise. Want to follow along on social media? The easiest way to connect with us is through our Beacons channel, beacons.ai/Going Beyond the Castle. You'll find links to all our social platforms, travel updates, and giveaways in one place. And hey, if you're dreaming about your next big adventure, whether it's Disney, Universal, a cruise, or a tropical escape, we'd love to help make it happen. Our travel planning services are completely free when you book through us. Until next time, keep dreaming big, keep exploring, and as always, go beyond the castle.